Let's go ahead and get started by first introducing you to what energy medicine is all about. So as this slide indicates, EMRO Quantum is leading the energy medicine revolution, but many people have not even heard about what energy medicine is. So let's start from the beginning. Energy medicine uses what we refer to as low-level frequencies, and we use that to resonate with the human body to produce different physical effects. So we are able to utilize frequencies, low-level frequencies, in our healthcare system to, for example, help heal wounds, help expedite the healing process of the human body, to relieve pain, and a variety of other things that we'll talk about later on. Energy medicine is sometimes referred to as bioenergetics or bioresonance, or the therapeutical use of bioelectricity. So basically what we will be discussing is the study or the utilization of energetic influences in living organisms. And for the sake of our conversation, we'll be focusing on the human body. This is an emerging field in both science and medicine, and it really focuses on the conduction of electromagnetic frequencies through living organisms, i.e. through the human body, and how these frequencies affect our health and well-being. Energy medicine has a deep history. It's not something that's new. However, it is an emerging field right now simply because we now have state-of-the-art sensitive equipment to both identify and measure, as well as produce and conduct these low-level frequencies that we've never had before. So technology has definitely advanced this field. But if we were to look back in history, we can see that energy medicine was actually founded over 5,000 years ago by through Oriental medicine, through the use of acupuncture. And in acupuncture, we use different devices, for example, small needles, to stimulate specific energy centers in the human body, otherwise known as acupuncture points or acupressure points. And by stimulating this energy, we're able to actually affect certain physiological changes. So energy medicine is not a new idea. This has been implemented for over 5,000 years. But if we want to take a look at the most recent progress of energy medicine, we can look back as far as 1932 and Dr. Harold Saxton Burr, who was recognized at a very controversial time in the healthcare and medicine paradigm as a physician, an MD, Western medically trained doctor, who really focused on researching electricity, in this case bioelectricity, and how changes in electrical current in the human body are related to diseases. Dr. Royal Rife is also very well known in the history of energy medicine and lived around the same time as Dr. Burr. And Dr. Royal Rife really spent a lot of time researching and made an amazing amount of progress in identifying the specific frequencies that are related to a variety of pathogens as well as disease. So even as far back as the 1930s, we've been able to identify pathological frequencies, those frequencies that are counterproductive to the human body, as well as frequencies that help the human body and support our healing process. So a lot of time elapsed during the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and in 1989, Dr. Elmer Green got a group of colleagues together, again, Western medically trained doctor, and they founded the International Society for the Study of Subtle Energies and Energy Medicine. I know that's a big mouthful, but basically these were a group of very highly respected physicians who understood the power of these low-level or subtle frequencies, and also understood the effects these frequencies can have on the human body. And they founded this organization to make sure that energy medicine would not be lost in a pharmaceutical world. And in the late 1990s, the NIH, National Institute of Health here in the United States, was encouraged to add energy medicine as one of the 5 components of their complementary and alternative medicine division. So in the 1990s, energy medicine did make it into the Department of Health and the NIH here in America, and became a recognized modality or science in the field of medicine. In the year 2000, James Oshman, an amazing leader in the energy medicine field and is alive today, he's an author who published the first book that really went into the scientific basis of energy medicine. And of course, and we live in a day and age where science is predominant, as it should be, and everything needs to be theorized and proven scientifically. So this was the first time that a book was ever published that explained the scientific basis of energy medicine. And then last year, jump ahead to 2018, Enrico Marian, an energy medicine healer from Europe, was able to bring together a variety of different energy-based products and founded EMRO Quantum. And Nico had the same vision that our early pioneers in energy medicine had, and that is to bring energy medicine to the masses, to take it outside the laboratory doors and the back hallways of research facilities and bring it to the people who really need it, who could really benefit from it. So in 2018, the first network marketing company focused on bringing energy medicine to the world was launched, and that is how EMRO Quantum was founded. So before we get too far into the details, I will share with you 4 fundamental principles that you need to understand and embrace in order to move forward with a better understanding of energy medicine. And these 4 principles are fairly straightforward, so I'm just going to name them here. The first is the fact that a bioelectric system exists in the human body. That is simply stating the fact that we have electromagnetic currents, electricity frequencies traveling through the human body every nanosecond of every day. The second fundamental principle upon which energy medicine is based is the fact that these energetic frequencies, these currents that flow through the human body, can become disturbed. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on, but basically there are certain factors that can disturb your energy system, your bioelectric system. Now, the third principle upon which energy medicine is based is the fact that the body was created with self-healing capabilities. So when subtle disturbances do occur within our bioelectric system, typically and hopefully our bodies can self-correct that and heal that and bring our bodies back to what we call homeostasis or balance. Now, the fourth pillar upon which energy medicine is based is really where energy medicine and EMRO Quantum come into the picture. And that is that sometimes the human body can't self-repair. Sometimes it's weak, maybe due to the aging process, or maybe due to chronic illnesses, or maybe due to external effects. But sometimes our body needs a little help. And we now know that we can apply healthy frequencies through external sources to help support the body's natural healing capabilities. So those are the 4 pillars upon which energy medicine is based. Now, let's talk about how energy medicine works. And there's only 3 things that you really need to know to understand the effects of frequencies on the human body. And the first is a word called resonance. And all resonance means is that when one thing vibrates or oscillates, it actually sends vibratory waves out into its near surrounding, and can actually cause another object within close proximity to begin vibrating as well. This is called resonance. Now, the second term is really how energy medicine affects the human body, and that is when something is vibrating or oscillating, the specific frequency at which it's oscillating at can actually cause another vibrating system to begin vibrating at the same frequency. So entrainment is when one vibratory or oscillating system can entrain or tune a second oscillating or vibratory system to begin vibrating at the same rate. So that is called entrainment. Frequencies begin to work together. And the third component of energy medicine and how it relates to the human body is a reference to interstitium. And interstitium is a portion of the physical matter of the human body that envelops our whole being, and it is our largest organ. It lays underneath the skin, and it is an organ that basically connects the entire human body together. It holds all of our organs, our bones, our muscles, our capillaries and veins and arteries in. But it envelops the whole human body, and that interstitium is filled with fluid-filled sacs, and most of that fluid is water. So we are mostly a being made up of water, and it is the water within this entire system that envelops the human body, the interstitium. It's this water that actually can help conduct frequencies to any part of our body, from the tip of our head to the tip of our toes. So this fact that a vibratory system, a frequency, can share vibrations through the rest of the body through this medium called interstitium is really how energy medicine works. Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about healthy versus disturbed energy. And on this slide, you'll actually see a picture of a acupuncture meridian system. And what that's doing is it's simply reminding us that energy flows through the human body. But what we've been able to determine more recently through state-of-the-art science is that our energy doesn't just flow through these meridians, as traditional Chinese medicine once thought. It actually flows through the whole interstitium. So energy is everywhere in the human body. And usually it's healthy. So usually our body can maintain homeostasis, and everything's operating at the frequency it's meant to operate at. Our cells are vibrating at the frequencies at which they are meant to vibrate at. Our organs are operating at the frequencies at which are healthy for those organs. But sometimes that energy, our bioelectric system, becomes disturbed or blocked. And that is the underlying principle of acupuncture, is to recognize these energetic disturbances or blockages and stimulate acupuncture points to bring that energy back into harmony and unblock blocked energy to allow it to flow more freely through the human body. And so you might ask yourself, what causes these disturbances or these blockages in our bioelectric system? I've recently spoken at different conferences and broken it into two categories. There are internal factors that influence our bioelectric system, and there's external factors. And some of the internal factors that you should be aware of are your thoughts and your emotions. These thoughts and emotions will actually change the harmonic resonance of the frequencies in your human body. So there is a lot of science behind the value of thinking good thoughts. And so it's quite interesting that even state-of-the-art science is now proving some of the old recommendations that we used to get to achieve optimal health. Illnesses can also interrupt our natural harmonic frequencies. Dehydration, a big factor in disturbing energy flow through the human body, because as I mentioned, that interstitium conducting material that surrounds the human body conducts energy or frequencies through fluid-filled sacs. So it's very imperative that we stay well hydrated for our energy to flow freely through the body. Nutrition also affects our frequencies and the conduction of electricity through the human body. But more importantly for our discussion, we have a lot of external factors also that can impede our natural healthy frequencies, and that's the Earth's gravitational field impacts our energetic frequencies, the orbits of planets, power lines overhead, if you live close to power plants. Even the computer sitting in front of me emits electromagnetic frequencies similar to cell phones. And these electromagnetic frequencies are coming out in a field that is actually interfering with or interacting with my own personal biofield. So these are all factors that can actually change or affect our healthy frequencies. So what are some of the effects of disturbed or blocked energy within the human body? You may not realize, but poor mental function or focus, low cognitive function could actually be a result of blocked or disturbed energy to the brain. Poor sleep patterns, very, very significant impact on our sleep patterns, and which is why one of the things that we often recommend is to be more aware of those things, those electronic devices in your bedroom, particularly around your bed and your head, that emit electromagnetic frequencies, because it does interrupt our bioelectric system and can impact your sleep patterns. We know for a fact in energy medicine that certain frequencies can inhibit cellular metabolism. In other words, adversely affect cellular function. And that is actually proven scientifically. We also see that electromagnetic frequencies, for example, can cause greater heat and greater inflammation in the body. And that could lead to discomfort and pain. We also know that because changes in our bioelectric system can impact us at the cellular level, that also means that these frequencies can impair our immune function and impair our organ function. And there's so many other effects that I won't go into because I don't want to get too detailed into the science and the medicine behind it, but I do want to tell you that when our bioelectric or bioenergy does become disturbed or blocked, there's a variety of different physical symptoms that can appear. And obviously, acupuncturists can talk a little bit more about specific things that they treat. So if you do have someone that you can speak with on specific diseases or illnesses that are energetic in nature, please do so, because we are trying to raise awareness of the link between dysfunctional energy and our health. So what can EMRO and energy medicine, our energy products, do for you? Particularly, it's a new year, a new you, and it is time that people who are watching this video and have struggled with different health concerns and have not gotten relief, it's time that you open your eyes and learn about the power of energy medicine, because we are finding in this field that frequency therapy is incredibly effective at treating some of chronic illnesses that just have not been able to be relieved through drugs or chemicals. So what can EMRO Quantum help you with? Well, I would like you to ask yourself if you or someone you know is currently struggling with muscle or joint pain, any kind of congestion, edema, swelling in an area, inflammation in a joint or a muscle. Um, do you know someone who is struggling with increased stress or anxiety? How about this one? This is something that people don't think of, but sinus symptoms, in particular allergy symptoms, itchy, watery eyes, runny or congested nose, postnasal drip, coughing as related to postnasal drip, any kind of cold symptoms. This can be addressed energetically, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Do you know someone who struggles with poor sleep patterns, maybe a low immune function? Maybe it's somebody that has chronically developed colds or flus or other viruses or infections, and just is chronically fighting that battle over and over again. Do you or someone you love struggle with fatigue or low energy or poor mental focus, or poor memory? These are things that can be addressed energetically and very effectively so, by the way. So begin to make your list now on who you might send this video to, and potentially help relieve something that they have struggled with for so long. So let's go into some of the details. Let's say you identified with pain relief. Let's say you or someone you know has struggled with chronic pain. There are 3 EMRO Quantum products that you should be aware of. And the 3 are listed here on your screen. And the first is the Quantum Back Relief Disc. And the Quantum Back Relief Disc is a disc that can be applied to any large muscle or joint and is imprinted with specific frequencies to relieve pain or discomfort. And you should feel relief within a matter of minutes or hours if you are well hydrated. The second disc or product I'd like to call to your attention is the Quantum Relief Disc. And this is a smaller disc imprinted with similar frequencies that help to relieve pain. And because it's a smaller disc, it should be used in smaller areas, smaller joints, and smaller muscle groups. Particularly, for example, around the neck, to relieve tension in the neck. It's wonderful in that regard. And I've also used it very effectively around the wrist and the hand, or the ankles and the feet. The third disc that I'll call to your attention as we speak about pain is the Quantum Circulation Disc. And this is a disc imprinted with frequencies to help reduce congestion or swelling, to relieve inflammation. And inflammation is commonly associated to pain. So if your pain is related to any inflammation, then you can use the Quantum Circulation Disc in combination with the Quantum Relief and or the Quantum Back Relief Disc. And all 3 can be used simultaneously to reduce swelling and the associated pain. Let's move on to immune support. And immune support, in this discussion, I will call your attention to our Quantum Sinus Allergy Disc. And now I know a lot of people who have finally found relief from chronic sinus and chronic allergy symptoms. And we're taking allergy medications every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And you just place one of these discs behind each ear, and within minutes or hours, your allergy symptoms or sinus symptoms begin to diminish. I also use this disc with patients who have a histamine issue. So that could include a bug bite or any kind of insect bite, or a spider bite. And basically anything that itches, whether it be from a bite or a rash, because it involves histamine or the body's production of histamine, the quantum sinus allergy disc may help relieve that itching. In Florida, for example, we deal a lot with mosquitoes, as well as bothersome little bugs called no-see-ums. And anyone who has been bitten by these bugs know the relentless itching and pain associated to those bites. And I'm happy to inform you that the quantum sinus allergy disc, when applied directly to the bite, relieves the itching within minutes. I'll also talk to you a little bit about quantum immune boost. So this is a disc that's worn 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your sternum. I actually have one here. And this helps strengthen our immune defenses. And this is a wonderful disc for anyone in the healthcare field to be wearing all of the time. Anyone in the education industry, teachers, for example, who come into contact with a lot of germs, anyone who travels a lot, flying or in airports. This is a wonderful disc because it truly, truly helps build your immune defenses. And whenever I feel a little bit run down or I feel like that cold is coming on, the immediate thing I do is double up on my immune boost disc. I'll put 2 on my sternum and actually make sure that I refresh my sinus allergy discs. And knock on wood, I have not gotten sick since I've been using the quantum products. So that's a wonderful testimonial for you to hear. Now, the third disc that I'll talk about, since we're talking about immune system, is the quantum stress relief disc. And for those of you who haven't heard that stress is a big influence in our immune system, let me be the first to tell you that stress or chronic stress and anxiety can severely deplete our immune strength and immune processes. So if you are someone who deals with chronic stress, I encourage you to help reduce that stress through the quantum stress relief disc. It's placed 1 behind each ear, and it's imprinted with frequencies that simply tell the body not to not be stressed. Stress is a message that's sent from the adrenal glands to the rest of the body. Those messages are sent energetically, and the quantum stress relief disc basically changes and alters those dysfunctional energy patterns. And within minutes or hours, I have customers say that it's a very subtle sense of calm. Things don't bother them as much. So I highly recommend the quantum stress relief discs for those people whose immune system is compromised by added stress. Now, we wouldn't be an energy company without having specific products that help improve your energy levels. And let me introduce you to the quantum performance disc. That is a disc that's imprinted with specific frequencies worn on the sternum that help to elevate your energy levels. I've also used it placed on the back of the neck to help with cognitive function because the quantum performance disc is designed or formulated with frequencies that not only elevate our energy levels but also help improve mental focus. So that is a great disc to give to the elderly who may be struggling a little bit with memory problems or mental focus or clarity. But it is equally as important to give to our college students, and a big shout out to those who have gone back to school, whether it be high school or college, particularly Go Gators at the University of Florida. The quantum performance disc does help our students reach their greatest potential and support their mental focus during exam week and other times throughout the year. I'll also mention the quantum sleep disc here because obviously impaired sleep can also affect our energy levels. And so quantum sleep is formulated with frequencies that help entrain the brain to reach a deeper delta wave pattern during sleep. So quantum sleep, unlike the other quantum products, are only worn at bedtime. And one is worn on each temple, applied about 20 minutes before bedtime. And as you sleep, it helps quiet the brain down from that active alpha wave that we are constantly running at throughout the day. And it calms it down and entrains our frequencies to reach what we call delta wave, a slower, much lower level frequency. And that's the frequency at which the brain allows deep REM sleep. And that is where we need to be in order to repair and regenerate our bodies while we sleep. So deeper sleep patterns is very, very healthy for not only the immune system's ability to repair, but also so that we are able to wake up the next day with greater energy and restoration and lead a healthier lifestyle. You will see also on this slide that I have different bracelets that are displayed. One bracelet I'd like to introduce you to is the silicone wristband. This is imprinted with specific frequencies that help balance our entire biofield, our entire bioelectric system. And our wristbands last about 30 or 60 days, depending on how much your body is drawing from it. I replace my wristband every 60 days. So you might be wondering at this time, how do I get some of these quantum energy products? Well, there are 3 ways to purchase your EMRO quantum products, and one is as a retail customer. Most of our products hover around the $49.95 mark, and they come in, for example, with quantum sleep, they come with a number of discs that should last you about a month or a month and a half, maybe even 2 months, depending on your usage of discs. So for $49.95, you can get a month or 2 supply of quantum energy products. And you would go to your EMRO Quantum Retailer's replicated website and watch some videos, read a little bit more about these products, and make your purchase right there. But if you know you are someone who identified a number of products that I just spoke about that could benefit you or your loved ones, then you might consider becoming a preferred customer. Reach out to your EMRO Quantum retailer and talk a little bit about the multiple products that you found interesting and would like to try, because they may be able to share with you a preferred customer coupon code, or you may go ahead and enroll as a preferred customer for $39.95, and that enables you for an entire year to purchase your EMRO Quantum products at $10 below retail per product. So that can save you a little bit of money each month if you are truly embarking on an energy medicine program. The third way that you can purchase your EMRO Quantum products is by becoming a wholesale customer, or we call them retailers. And by joining our retailer program, again, for $39.95 a year, you are eligible to receive your EMRO Quantum products at wholesale. And our wholesale price is about $29.95 for most products, except of course for the beautiful energy bracelet and the weight control system product set. But typically each of our products that come in disc packs like this are wholesale at $29.95. So a retailer is able to save a great deal of money by purchasing their products through the retailer's wholesale account.